traders, Mark from Trading Market Technicals bringing you the educational video on how to identify a market bottom. And this was a clear example on Monday's price action. Actually, on Monday, I mentioned that the markets were due for some sort of reversal, a bounce. And I wanted to just kind of show you what had happened. And that really marked the bottom, or marked the low, I should say, for the week. So let's get right to it. Here's the ES 5-minute chart, okay? And I like to look at the 5-minute chart on an intraday basis to really kind of look at volume and price. And then, of course, I also, my favorite, many of you who have taken the class and have seen some of my lectures, vol spread is also probably bar none the best indicator to look for, because it does measure tick and volume and then it plots it on a chart. And of course I like to look at that with the candlestick, an 8 EMA and a 20. And I just recently put the 20 a little bit because we have some of this extreme volatility happening. I wanted to make sure that if we are closing below the 8, I want to get that extra confirmation that we are closing below that 20, and then that would mark that trend change. And sure enough, that's what happened, right? You had the market gap up and kind of went sideways, started to drift lower, and that's what we had here. If you could see, we drifted lower, and then we kind of just went in this range on Monday, and you could see this here, just clearly identify. And then what happened? Well, let me go put that down right around that 1500. Markets caught the vol spread caught the main pivot of the day, and you can see this was a clear downtrend. And this really didn't give you much of a clue, and sometimes it doesn't. But the first thing that I was going to measure, and it didn't look like the markets were ready to bounce on Monday, but sure enough, what happened? We had a huge volume spike in volume, capitulation, big engulfing red candle, and that really, the sellers capitulated that, and that marked the end of that lower. You didn't see the 1808, 1809 area at all the rest of this past week. Markets actually reversed, and sure enough, when you take out that candle, that is the clue that, hey, we are now starting to revert back to the upside. And then, of course, you could see here, and I know it's a little, for the sake of the video, you could see that we did go lower, didn't even get close to the 1808. Well, we did a little bit here, but you could see what happened. We create that little bit of a double bottom, so to speak, and then that was it pretty much most of the week. So what were we looking for when we realized that the markets have indeed reversed? Okay, well, the first thing is we want to look for the vol spread, any signs of the vol spread, and the vol spread did give you that, because this time was 15. Let's call it 1510. So at 1510, this is the big spot of where you want to look for volume kicking in. That told me, said, hey, let's be on the lookout for some sort of a reversal. Now, it was at the end of the day, so depending on your trading plan, if you're a scalper, you can do this, but I like extra confirmation, meaning looking for the next pullback, and obviously we never had that. But take a look at what happens. We pop up, and of course the vol spread rolled lower at the end of the day, but you need other indicators, right? You need other asset classes that to look for. And what happened? Well, let me bring in the IWM. Okay, this is a great gauge of risk, and this tells me, look at what happened. Boom, we did get a little bit of volume, an increase in volume, and sure enough, markets actually followed suit with the IWM. Take a look at the Qs, which is another leader. And then you can see here the Qs did the same, big volume spike, and started now reversing to the upside. Okay, and usually when you take that capitulatory low, that candle's low, out of the high, you're pretty much on the path that you're going to probably revert back, at least rally somewhat. And then, of course, the most important is the transports. We had that interim low, massive volume spike here coming up, and sure enough, we reverted back. And again, by watching the indicators as well as the indices, and again, the transports being the #1 leader, the Russell the secondary, the Qs the third, and then of course you're going to have your spiders and you're going to have your Dow Jones, which are the two laggards. But I'm looking at this as a whole, and you need to really identify this and take a look at this as a whole, because don't trade blinded. Don't trade by looking at one stock or one ETF or one just the ES. You want to see volume, confirm price. You want to see that, oh, wait a minute, we just had a low of the index, the ES. Let's see if the Qs, let's see if the IWM, let's see if the transports are now indeed making those lows and now reversed. And when you see this here, that is your cue to do one of two things. If you are short, you better tighten your stop, number one. Or number two, you're not going to get short, at least for the moment, because what you would do is look for that failure into a moving average and start to revert back to the downside, okay? Now, if that doesn't happen, your next bet would be looking for a pullback, sort of like a bull flag, into support, and then buy that interim low, that higher low from this previous low. Now, again, that didn't happen, but in this video is educational videos just to identify a market bottom or, again, a trend reversal. And that's what we have here. Very, very identifiable, real easy to, if you know what you're looking for, okay, that's important. And what I like to do is, aside, I have the ES and I have my layout with the vol spread, but also another good sign is to get the VIX. And if you have the VIX by your side, you can literally look and the tick, okay? And let me just show you the tick here. This is the tick reading, all right? And what I like to see is that tick spike down. And let's just take a look and see what happened on Monday. All right, now we have, here's the Monday. There's that 15 low. And sure enough, we had that low below 900, meaning sell programs kicked in. So that confirmed that low, and then what happened? We just snapped back right away. Now, don't look at the to the right here, because it does get a little choppy, and of course we sold off at the end of the day because we had programs come in again. But that is, again, another sign, another clue that, hey, we just put in that low, sell programs kicked in hard, and then now we just get that snapback again, that we're back above the zero line and starting to revert higher again. So that's another indicator that I like to use. And of course is also the VIX, and I'd like to see the VIX come in and make that big spike higher and then revert back. And let me show you what I mean by that. And this is the VIX now. Okay, let me just grab this. Okay, just so you guys can see it. All right, now let's go back to Monday. This is Thursday, and I just want you to see where you can tie all of this in. Here we go. All right, this is that spike that we're looking for. Now remember, this is a 5-minute chart, so it is a little quick. So if you wanted to make it a little, you wanted to bring it back down to maybe a 10-minute or something, or even a 15-minute to slow it down a little bit, you can. But if you're trading, this is what happened. Closed outside. These are Bollinger Bands. We closed outside of the Bollinger Band. We have the 8, and here's the 20 from the Bollinger Band. And look what happens. That gave you that spike up and back in. That's a sell signal. So by looking at the VIX, the vol spread, and the tick, along with the ES, and all you do is you have this on your screens. You know, you look for, your actionable trading above. I like to have my screen above the E-mini S&P, the vol spread, the VIX, and the tick on one. And then to my right are my indexes. My indexes, the transports, the Russell, the Qs, the spiders, and the diamonds, and have them all in one. And then, of course, if you're really technical, you could add the bonds and the Japanese yen for this time right now in the markets. That's what we're looking at. You're going to have a great idea of what's going on under the hood, so to speak, in the S&P 500. Okay, and you're going to look and identify. So, oh, we just popped out of the VIX. We're moving lower, and then also we say the tick had that spike low, and we're moving higher. Right, and then that's going to show you that this is all tying in with what you're seeing, along with the indexes, and that's going to put you on the right side, or it's going to protect your profits if you're short. I hope this video helps, and we'll see you at the next time. Take care.